Sanam, thank you so much for doing this and finding time for us here on CNN News 18. First of all, Sherizad, who is this person? I'm not able to actually put my finger on the character. I'm yet to see the second episode, but
Oh, okay.
I'm just already enamored, intrigued.
Yes, intrigue seems to be the word that's following Barzakh. Since the
Yes.
trailer, since the teasers, even after the episodes, they're just intrigued. But I think you'll have to see all 6 episodes for anything to make sense.
But what really got you? I mean, don't say Asim, because I understand your cake association. I understand your almost Churel's association with the director. But really, what intrigued you into saying yes to Barzakh? Because from where I see it is completely male centric. There are too many male characters, and then there's you.
Um, okay, if it wasn't Asim, I don't think I would have trusted anyone to pull this off. But the script was very interesting. It was so detailed. It really made me, as the reader, think and have to read the script once or twice to really understand it. And I thought that was really important. It's like solving a puzzle. And when you watch shows, and I keep giving this example of Dark, it's a German show
Yeah.
on one of the
Yes.
OTT platforms. I had to see that twice also because it really, and I liked the brain exercise it was giving me. You really have to, you can't blink because you'll miss something. And you really have to rewind and see something again to really understand it. And that really piqued my interest. How a show can have that effect on you. And the fact that it was for the South Asian audience, I thought that was even more interesting. And we rarely have shows that really make you think like, are you crazy? Can you not understand anymore? Has your brain power kind of shrunk or something? Because you're like, did I not get it? But you have to keep watching it to understand it. I thought that was really interesting. I thought it was beautiful that in 6 episodes, finally you will get your answers. And it's just 6 episodes. The fact that I was one with all these male actors and characters, if Sherazad wasn't there, there would be none of it would be possible because she is the one that brings everyone together. She is the one that connects the family and enables JK's true wishes to come true. And in that process, the family reunites. So she's the mediator, she's the middleman, she's the peacemaker, and that's a very vital character in everyone's life. And so it was an honor to be given that opportunity to play a character like Sherazad.
It's interesting that you mentioned Dark, and I understand that we're not really finding any sort of similes or probably any sort of connect with any other project or a show. I do understand that. That's a sense that I get after having watched the first and now on to the second episode. But there must be some sort of a reference point. We understand that you had to go to Hunzunda Valley for almost a month, stay there. We also, do talk about the shamans there. And there was some sort of a reference point that maybe Asim really took while he was wanting to make Barzakh. The name in itself, what does it mean? Is it afterlife? It is the whale? What does Barzakh mean? Because that's one thing that probably is the first step to that intrigue factor. I can say that.
Yeah, the fact that it was named Barzakh was a shocker in itself. Because Barzakh in English, literally, it's limbo land. It's limbo. It's where the souls go, what we believe. When the souls leave this earth or this realm, and before moving on and transitioning into the other realm where they will be forever, there's a waiting room. And that waiting area is what we call limbo or Barzakh. Barzakh is also an Arabic word for veil or barrier, something that is a barrier between this world and that world. So you can say it's a waiting room or it's a veil, but it's basically that one thing that divides real life from the soulful life, or this world from that world, or the metaphysical worlds or the supernatural worlds. It's that one point that stops the mergence from happening. And Barzakh is all about that merger happening. Is dunya और उस दुनिया का मिलाप होना constantly is in episode 2 you'll hear that a lot. That अगर इस दुनिया उस दुनिया का मिलाप हुआ तो हम जो इधर है फना हो जाएंगे. And so there's 2 sides of the story. One party believes that hum fana ho jayenge. One party believes that we will be reunited with those who are lost, and sare gile shikwe sabke dur ho jayenge. But it's a matter of perspective, like anything is in life. It's
Right.
how you see something. And that's also questioned in Barzakh, which is also really interesting, is like, who's right, who's wrong? Is there a right and wrong?
Yeah.
Where do you
So,
draw the line?
I've seen your earlier work. I've seen this. I'm obviously in the process of watching this one. And even you in real life, for that matter, would you call yourself a more evolved actor or a person for that matter? You talk about spirituality, like, like you kind of relate with it. I understand that Asim also probably delved in a project like this because he must be having a sort of spiritual side. Did that sort of connect you, or because you understood him through your cake association that you said, okay, fine, this is something that I want to be a part of? Or is it some sort of a spiritual aspect that also probably were egging you on? What was it for you?
I don't know if I would mix my spirituality into it, but but the aspect that I would is the question we've all lost. Asim lost his father. I lost my mother many years ago. So there is a question of where are they? Will we ever meet them? Are they around us? Will we ever have an interaction? Where are they waiting? Have they met the others who have passed? What's happening? So these questions, I think, come up in anyone's mind. It came up in Asim's mind when he was losing his father. I've often wondered, if I'll ever, have a meeting with my grandparents or my mother. And I think that Barzakh was answering those questions or dabbling in that territory. I found it interesting. And I think I found it interesting for other people as well, that log to ye bahut sochte honge. They must be wondering what it is. It's certainly a question that has popped up in people's minds, especially those who have lost someone very close. It could be disturbing to some people. Some people are like, don't even go there, don't mess with the dead. Some people. So it's not like this is not black magic, no voodoo. We're not calling
Yeah.
spirits. You're honoring spirits that we say in this story are going to descend onto earth on a particular equinox, on a particular blood moon night. And every religion has different nights with different powers of mysticism and spirituality at a heightened level or whatever. So it's not fixed on any one religion. It's just an idea, just a thought being discussed, just a feeling of the creators. And then like-minded people came together to make this. And, it wasn't even the little boy. We had a lot of actors who had lost actually a parent of all ages. So I think that kind of really brought us together with this belief that the characters would really believe that the souls are going to come.
Okay. Have you always been this objective towards the characters that you've played all through your career, or it's only with time that you've had this sort of objectivity, or you're still getting there? Because the way you've narrated this entire thing of probably sort of relating with Sherazad is really something.
Oh, thank you. I'm not sure how I don't think I haven't really dissected how I might have evolved or digressed in terms of acting. It's just when you get a really good script, and for any actor, more than half your job is done. When the script is so well written out, when your characters are so beautifully and clearly etched out, it makes your job so much more easy to do. And you as an artist or as an actor can relate so much more to that character and really make it as believable as you possibly can. When a script is a little wishy-washy or not very clear, or the characters are a little blurry, I struggle then to do justice to the characters. I think that's when it's a real effort, and I put my all into that. Not that I didn't put my all into this, but it's just well-written characters hit differently, and I think any actor appreciates that, because you can really sink your teeth into it. And Sherazad, at first, I thought was very difficult to play, and I kept saying this, that Asim, how do we make her attractive, not in the sense of beauty, but like how do we make a connection with her in the audience if she has to be so flat? But she had to be flat because there's so many emotional characters that for Sherazad to A, stand out, B, really bring that sense of calm and peace and mystery to the audience, not just the characters around her. The tum kya ho, kaun ho is not just for the characters to ask. It's literally every view. I'm getting texts saying tum kya ho, kaun ho. And that's really interesting. A character has never had that impact, at least none of the ones that I have done, where people are really like, who are you? And what is your purpose? And we're really like stuck to you. We really want to know where your trajectory goes. I mean, it's the script.
But I wouldn't say it's only true for Sherazad. Whether it is Kashyap, whether it is Dara, whether it is any other character that you've played all through your career, it is not sort of a peripheral, approach that you've had. And even the characters are very always a strong woman. Do you attract such roles, or they come to you? What is it about you, Sanam, that these kind of roles are associated with you? And has it ever probably led to a certain typecast or whatever, the Kashyap, Sanam ke paas jana, I just call you Kashyap. So इसी तरह के roles थे इन्हें.
It has. There has been a bit of a typecast situation going on for many years. I've fought it initially, but then I said, you know what, सबका अब दाने दाने पे नाम लिखा होता है ना, ऐसे रोल पे नाम लिखा होता है. I think everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Even the best of the actors has, some actors just do something really great, and any director goes to that safe space and wants to cast a certain actor for that role. It's interesting when a director casts someone completely opposite, so that the audience also gets shaken up and says, oh, this person can do this also. Oh, wow, the director really got something different out of that actor. I think right now, directors and producers are maybe not taking huge risks, and they're really going to their safe space. So they know that Fala actress will bring the ratings in, Fala actress will do the acting roles, and Fala actress will, be the heroic roles or whatever, which is why I always say in a lot of interviews, it was really good for Fawad to do this role, because it really it really shows a difference, a really layered, complex side of him. He's such a brilliant actor. Everyone has seen M. Fawad Khan be a phenomenal actor. If he suddenly made into a chocolate hero and groomed into a way where he's looking really hot, people will be really blown away. So I think it's really interesting to play around with actors like that. I think strong roles just come to me, and I don't mind it. I'm happy to do them.
I'm glad that you spoke about Fawad. And I did not want to start this interview with talking about, hey, I've seen Zindagi Gulzar Hai, because you would say, et tu brute, all you Indian fans are like that. But actually, our introduction to Pakistani drama has been either a Zindagi Gulzar Hai or a Humsafar for that matter. And hence, while you guys are coming together after 12 years, that also added to that. And for the want of a better word, again, intrigue factor for Barzakh specifically. Do you think that also is working, considering you guys are not romantically, pitted here as far as this particular show is concerned? The show is not like that. And yet, that was the kind of weight people were actually looking forward to this. And that's another story that you're doing 3 in a row now on OTT. What about that?
It did definitely draw in a lot of the audience that I wouldn't think would be interested in Barzakh, but because it had Fawad and I in it, it really brought in a lot more people to watch it. And my group shares the comments with me sometimes. They're like, some people are like, oh my God, I can't believe that they're not together in this. But what was really happy, what made us all really happy was that we came in thinking we'd see these two together. But it doesn't matter if they're not together. It's just a pleasure to see them on screen. And I thought that was really sweet. And people really enjoyed the characters that we're playing. So sure, it was marketed a lot with the two of us. And any project needs 2 or 3 big names to help push it. And which I'm glad Barzakh had these names and us in it, because it really helped a lot more viewers get to see Barzakh. Otherwise, it would have been more of a niche project. But having 2 names, big names that people are attached to it, I think really pushed Barzakh out there in the market, which is great. And to know that people aren't disappointed to see us not as a couple is even better, and just proves the point that people just want to see good acting and good roles, and their favorite actors nibhao different roles, just not always come as they've seen them.
But have you two, from Zindagi Gulzar Hai to Barzakh, have you seen any change when it comes to your own approaches as actors? Has it become different or completely taken you off guard, or is it the same?
The scripts the 2 scripts are very different. We've definitely evolved as actors, but from then to now, there's an unsaid comfort that we as strangers felt on Zindagi Gulzar Hai. We were very comfortable, and were really able to feed off of each other's energy. And it's a treat to see that 12 years later, after not too much contact, except for maybe a few times socially, but to be together for so long on sets, and still have that banter and that kind of camaraderie is really valuable. And I'm really grateful to have a colleague or a co-actor who I can work with like that. There's just an unsaid comfort, and I think he's a phenomenal actor, and he's just been given this role to show his range. He always had it in him. And I think we are able to, like Fawad brings out the best in his actors, I think, you know, certain actors bring out the best in him too, and it's a two-way situation.
Are we looking at a festival favorite like Cake for that matter? Is Barzakh one of those where we categorize it in the niche sort of bracket? Because Pakistan OTT space is still coming up. So would you say that it is probably out there to match? Let's say, we're not making comparisons, but obviously there is a huge amount of takers for the Indian OTT space, obviously in your country as well. So where do you see Pakistan when it is about that?
In terms of Barzakh or generally?
Generally.
I think we've got, Barzakh was just a one-off right now that was really different. I think we've got a long way to go before we warm up the audiences to this kind of content. I think India took its time and took its risks, but over time, it is now the audience over there has developed a palette for this, and therefore, by default, we have. I think right now, purely Pakistani content like this is a baby step, and we need a lot more stories like this to come out that touch different kind of taboo topics in this kind of art form way. And slowly but surely we'll get there, because as you've seen through our Pakistani dramas, we have a beautiful way of storytelling, and we have incredible talent. And I think our training as actors is a lot more realistic and a lot more nuanced because of our adat of acting for 26 episodes in a really realistic setting. So we've got all the ingredients for like really powerful work. We just need to find the right writing and the guts to put out something like this more often.
And Sanam, before I let you go, I have to ask you this question, since I'm talking to you from India. There has been an association when it comes to Fawad and Mahira, for that matter, when it is about this cross-border cultural exchange. Do we see that happening with you? Would you want to be associated, even if it is on an OTT platform, with actors here? And if so, then who? Any particular work that you admire?
There's so many, but right now I'm just going to stick to Tabu. I think she's incredible, and I'd love to be able to work with her, and I've really looked up to her and all her roles and the way she's evolved as an actress from, like, God knows, 20 years ago and more. I think she's quite phenomenal, and to see her kind of invent herself every time, and OTT platforms give her that space, I think that's quite cool.
Right. Sanam, thank you so much for speaking to
Thank
me.
you.
It was short, quick, but really nice. Thank you.
Thank you.